Who's your gardener here? Hello, YouTube. The day has finally come. I'm going to start. I went and got some lumber, and I'm going to start on the hot tub series. I'm going to make this maybe hopefully 3 or 4 videos just to kind of show you how I'm going to do it. I had to get out here and do something. Lord have mercy. I have been pinned up in the house for so long. I caught myself yesterday ironing a one of my old work flannel shirts, and I'm like, I got to do something here. when you're ironing your old flannel shirts, it's time to get out and get something to do. Okay, so what I'm doing here and what I'm going to show you right now is just I think I'm going to leave it right over here next to here's the farmer's field behind me. And it looks close right here now. There's a wire fence next to it here, but it's actually shifted over this way through the winter. It kind of moved on me. It's actually going to go back that way a little ways. So there'll be a walk path behind here and a walk path in between beds. So I think I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I had talked about putting it down the hill here, but I think I'm going to leave it where it sits. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use this box as my reference point to try to come up with a front face. So my bed, this hot tub bed, the very front of it will be even with that bed. And so this can be tricky to do if you don't know what you're doing. Now let me walk. Nothing gets done unless you have coffee, people. Okay, remember that. All right. So let me walk around the bed here because I'm too old to hike over that string wire. And I'll show you how to come up with this angle. If you are planning to do this, you can do this even if you don't have another structure to go off of. You can come up with square by doing this method. Okay, and now I've got a string running here and I've got my bed here. Okay, now if I didn't have a bed here, all I would do is I'd put a stake here and I would run a string along here. But I've already got this bed in place, so I'm going to use it as a reference point. Okay, but you can do the exact same thing with just 2 strings. So here's what I did. I went off the face of this bed here, just put a nail in it, tied my string around it so the string is laying on the face of this board. I measured out from this point right here where it comes to the string out to here, and it's kind of hard to see, but right here I put a little black dot. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, at 3 foot. Okay, so I measured out 3 foot, made a dot. I then measured from here, the corner, along my bed, and right here, see if I can find it in the, oh, it's hard to see, people, because we're in the shadow. Oh, it's hard to see. Let me move the boards a little bit. Binging, there it is. On this bed, I made a dot right here at 4 foot. This is what they call the 3, 4, 5 method. So I measured up 4 foot. Then I measured across the what they call the hypotenuse of the triangle. So I went from this dot all the way over to this dot, which is at 3 foot. If I measured 3 foot, 4 foot, my hypotenuse measurement across here should be 5 foot. That's what they call the 3, 4, 5 method. That tells me that this string is a perfect 90 degrees from this box. Now, if I had 2 strings, I didn't have this box, I would do the same thing. I would make a corner with 2 strings. So I'd have a string going this way and one going this way. And I would do the exact same thing. From that corner, I would measure out 3 foot. And then over here, I'd measure out 4 foot. Have a buddy help you, measure across the hypotenuse of the triangle until I got 5 foot. Now, for instance, this one here, this line here, I was off just a little bit. So when I measured it, I was just, I was off 5 foot. I was like 5 foot and I forget, it was 5 and a half, 5 foot and a half of an inch. So I had to go out here to my end post and I had to move my end post. Okay, so in that case, I was too long, I had to move it out a little bit. And what that does is that changes your angle on this triangle, okay, because we're trying to come up with a 90-degree angle. And so that's what I've done so far. Now that gives me a face of where my box is going to be at, and it gives me an idea exactly where I need to drill my holes. Now last year I started drilling a hole here, and I'm like, I think I'm too far out. And sure enough, as you can see, I'm looking straight down this line now. Here's the line. I was too far forward, which would make the face of my box not line up with this box. So I wanted to correct that before I got any further. So that's what we're doing today. The hot tub has got some junk in it. It's got water in it. It's got tadpoles in it. See if you can see them tadpoles swimming around. There they are. We always have a ton of those little tree frogs ribbiting around. But so far it does pretty good at holding water in the base. Like I said, this one here, I'm going to make a wicking bed out of it. So, all right, just to give you a little education on the 3, 4, 5 method when you're building something to get your 90-degree angle. So, who's your gardener here? Lord bless. Have a good day.